Hi everyone, so instead of doing live streams, I'm kind of forced to do these, the same sort of format as my live streams, but in just normal, recorded video form. Feel really weird doing this, because of the streaming situation on YouTube, and other platforms don't, as far as I'm aware, don't offer the ability to make private streams that other people can watch so long as they get a link. I'm forced to do this. If any of you know any streaming platforms that are similar to YouTube where you can make unlisted streams where only people with a link can view them, please message me or just leave a comment on this video. But we'll just get right into things. So this is a guy called Brave Wilderness. I only just recently discovered his channel, and he's a complete fucking asshole. So basically his channel revolves around finding some sort of animal, whether it be a poisonous reptile or a venomous reptile, some sort of creature that can bite. He seems to recently taken a liking to insects, and he fucks with them, bothers them, and gets them to sting him. Now, if you were to ask him, is there any sort of scientific purpose to bothering these animals, getting them upset, and possibly causing some level of harm and discomfort to them? No, I think his reasoning would be views. As you can see, he gets quite a lot of views on his channel. His latest one, 1.4 million, 3.1 million, 2.5 million, 7.3 million, so he's getting a lot of fucking views. Most of his videos are getting in the millions of views. So he's making some serious money off of this. He's basically, I'd call this animal abuse. Even if it's just insects, there's no, there's no reasonable scientific purpose to doing any of this. It's for fucking cash. So he's abusing and exploiting animals, fucking with them, making them stressed out and angry for fucking cash. And, just wanted to go through this video a little bit with you guys.
To place the capsule inside of the entomology net. There we go. And I'm going to get the wasp out with the forceps. Okay. Wasp is in the net.
Okay, so this apparently, it's an executioner wasp. This is a wasp that has one of the most brutal, painful stings on the planet. How in the motherfuck isn't this taken down off of YouTube? They have it in their policy that you should not be promoting harmful and dangerous acts. Well, I think intentionally stinging yourself with one of the most venomous animals on the planet that causes horrific, horrible pain, that should fall within those guidelines, right? So I don't understand how his channel is still around. I get fucking temporarily banned off the platform for calling people a bitch, and apparently this is acceptable. Fucking with animals, abusing them, exploiting them, causing harm and discomfort, and then committing self-harm. That's totally acceptable on YouTube, but calling someone a bitch, that's crossing the line. Right.
Got it.
So, this is another thing that I wanted to point out. So, he's using forceps. It's basically like a pair of tweezers. That's a friggin' insect. So just the slightest little, pinch of his finger, he could just crush the fucking thing. And he's going to have the forceps, have the insect bite him, and supposedly he's not going to, clinch. He could easily just clinch, kill the fucking insect. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a fucking bug, whatever, you run over bugs with your car all the time. That's fucking different. If I had the choice not to harm an insect, this is no different than just pouring fucking bleach over an anthill. Why would you do that? It's just stupid. You're causing unnecessary harm to an animal.
All right, there we go. I've got it. Perfect hold. And that stinger is absolutely massive. Okay.
Oh, gee, I wonder if this is going to hurt. Like, it's this insanely bright-colored insect, which should be an indication to you that, yeah, the thing's fucking poisonous or venomous. It has a huge stinger on the end. We already know that normal wasps hurt. I wonder, is this going to hurt or not? Is it going to be painful? Well, gee, I guess a lot of people were fucking wondering whether or not it's going to hurt, so I guess we'll see. Like, really? People watch this shit. Why, like, I just wonder, why is there an audience for this crap? Like, is there an audience for slitting your own wrists? Like, let's just look this up. Self-harm, let's see what comes up. So I don't think there's any actual videos you can find. Okay, let's say slitting wrists. Okay, yeah. I just, let's see, I don't think we can actually find anything, like any actual video footage of people cutting their wrists. Like, why, I just don't get it. Why is there an audience for this sort of thing where you use animals to harm yourself, but if people use like a knife or, I don't know, soldering iron to just stab themselves, cause them pain, why don't those videos get any views? Why aren't those videos allowed on YouTube? But fucking with animals and then using those animals to hurt yourself, that's perfectly acceptable. Like, you're just adding another level of bullshit, harm, and abuse, and this is somehow acceptable on YouTube. Like, fucking suck my dick.
I'm gonna move the epinephrine pen off to the side here. Let's keep the glass capsule accessible so that I can quickly cover it back up.
Yeah, you wouldn't want the insect to be able to fly away or anything after you're done fucking with it. And like, this is the story basically. He found some sort of shed where these animals made their nest, and yeah, let's just take one of them, fuck with them, take them from their nest, and then yeah, like, after I'm done with it, no, I can't just let it go away. Let's just put it in this glass container.
Cover it back up. That is a very large wasp right there. You can see it's completely calmed down at this point. It is just waiting to inflict a sting.
I don't know if it's waiting to inflict a sting. I think it's more like, why the fuck am I here? What's this asshole doing? Maybe I can just go away? Could I just fly away, maybe, please?
Okay, are you ready?
Oh, I believe this here. Yep, I'm ready.
I'm Coyote Peterson.
I love the dramatic music. It's like a trailer for the fucking Dark Knight. Like, really? We need this dramatic music to find out whether or not an exotic wasp that's very large and brightly colored will sting, and whether or not that sting will hurt a great deal. We need dramatic music for that. Wow, this is grade A quality fucking content on YouTube. Nearly 8 million views. Just boggles my mind.
I'm about to enter the sting zone with the executioner wasp. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I love how it takes several seconds for the wasp to actually sting him. Like, he has to press it into his fucking arm. It's ridiculous. And then he's saying, oh, this thing's just waiting to sting me. No, it wants to get the fuck away, asshole. Maybe don't fuck with it. Look at this shit. Look, it doesn't even want to sting him. It just wants to get the fuck away. Maybe don't fuck with animals, dipshit.
Ah! Ah! Oh! Oh my gosh!
Okay, so this is something that confuses me a little bit. So I've already seen this video. He claims that this wasp's sting is worse than a bullet ant, and bullet ants are famous for actually hurting as bad, if not worse, than bullets. Like, people who've gotten shot have said, yeah, these ants actually hurt just as bad, if not worse. Apparently, according to him, this wasp stings harder than a bullet ant. Now, he was able to, like, this requires quite a lot of coordination and focus to hold an insect in a pair of tweezers without loosening it up so much that it gets away, and without going so hard that it crushes it. So you need a lot of very precise pressure. So this required quite a lot of coordination on his part. And then, after the fucking thing stings him, he was able to not flinch, not crush the fucking insect, or just have his hands just go out like that. And he was able to keep the same constant fucking pressure without harming the insect. And then, after he was stung, he put it back in the fucking little bubble there. Like, and then he's saying, oh my god, this hurts so fucking much, I can't stand it. Like, something's not adding up. I think this guy might be completely and utterly full of shit. That's just a theory that I have. I can't prove that. I'm not going to go out and be intentionally stung by this wasp just to see how much it hurts. But I think he's actually fucking milking it and just pretending to be a complete fucking pussy to get more views. And that's not... Like, I don't think that's out of the question. I mean, the guy is clearly after views. He's making self-harm videos and animal abuse videos for views. So I think he's also milking it, acting like it hurts more than it really does, for views.
Ah! Oh, right there! Oh, you can see the venom coming right out of my arm right there. You see that? Oh, my gosh! Oh, that hurts a lot! God!
You know, yeah, I don't think, I don't know what else to say about this. The thing that really irritates me, too, is just how YouTube just unfairly treats channels. I mean, I call someone a bitch, okay. I've caught up to the fact that I can't use those sorts of insults on their platform. Now, I've also seen channels get their videos taken down for showing, like, slaughterhouse footage, even though it was in a context where it was educational. I've seen channels get taken down where they were just committing animal abuse for fun. Like, I don't see how... Like, I've also seen self-harm videos get taken down. This fits into all of those categories, and it's not taken down. So, not only am I just pissed off that this guy is... you know, abusing animals, exploiting them, and just using that to get fucking money. But apparently, when you get enough views on your YouTube channel, the rules don't fucking apply to you. So this guy can just get away with whatever the fuck he wants. That really annoys me. So I am actually planning on making an actual response to this. But yeah, that's really annoying. We can skip through a little bit too here. Like, he's on the ground for so many minutes saying, oh my god, this hurts so much, blah, blah, blah. Look, and he's saying, oh my god, look how red my skin is, look how hot it is. Look, this doesn't mean shit. I've seen people who've had allergic reactions to insect bites. A buddy of mine, when I was in summer camp, he got stung by a red ant, and he was allergic to the poison that the red ants have. His whole arm went, like, insanely bright red. It's not, like, it looks worse than what his arm looks like now. And he's saying, oh my god, you can tell this is a bad sting. Like, buddy, I think you're full of fucking shit. I think you're just acting like a total fucking pussy just so that you can get views. Because, again, this doesn't make any sense. He needs very, very precise pressure to hold that wasp in a way where it can't get loose, but if he holds it too tight, he can crush it, and it's just a tiny little insect, so just the slightest bit of extra pressure could fucking just destroy the thing. Then apparently, this wasp, like the amount of pain it can give you, is similar to getting shot with a fucking bullet, but somehow he didn't change like pressure on that like that bit of tweezers, didn't crush the wasp, and he was also somehow able to like put the thing back in its glass container after he got stung. Like, fuck right off, dude. You're just totally full of shit. The only other explanation here is that someone else was holding that wasp for him, but the way they shot it was he was the one holding it, so that doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, I think this guy is just totally full of shit. It looks like he does have a camera crew with him. I wouldn't be too surprised if paramedics weren't also with him, but they just don't show it. It's behind the scenes. But yeah, I think this guy is totally full of shit. And I am planning on calling him out for his horseshit soon. So, let's see. Next up, we have Sv3rige. And, you know, Sv3rige has a lot of very bizarre conspiracy theories, but, my opinions have changed a bit on him. Like, the guy made my skin crawl a little bit. Like, he's crazy. He literally admits to wanting to kill and eat people. Literally. He wants to kill and eat people. He admitted that up front. He's admitted that he sees nothing wrong with that. He has been charged with assault in the past. Apparently he did stab a few kids at one of his former schools. He has been institutionalized for anorexia. According to him, he got really into sun gazing, and that made him not want to eat. He became anorexic. He was admitted to a hospital where they had to force feed him. A lot of crazy, crazy shit. Like, the guy is mentally ill. But this video he just made, it really makes me think the guy is not only crazy, but he's just a piece of shit.
Hey everyone, my recent trip to Ukraine made me realize why after over 8 years of living in Germany, as a Latvian, I still don't feel at home here. I felt more at home after 3 days of being in Ukraine than I ever did here. Why? It has nothing to do with the culture or the language, because those are man-made and have absolutely no meaning in nature.
Okay, that is a very, very important thing to just keep in mind as this video goes. So, language and culture are meaningless, they're man-made, and apparently, according to him, they don't matter, okay? So, culture and language don't matter, alright? Very, very important detail to keep in mind. He feels more at home in the Ukraine than in Germany, not because of the culture, not because of the language. Those things don't matter to him, so let's see why he feels more at home in the Ukraine than in Germany.
But even if you believe that it has some meaning, I grew up with German, so technically I should feel absolutely at home here, but I don't. It's because 99% of the people I was surrounded by in Ukraine were white.
Okay. Yeah. So not only is Sv3rige a crazy, I don't know if I'd call him sociopath. He might be able to fit within that definition. But crazy, violent fantasies and tendencies. He's admittedly wanted to kill and eat people. But he also doesn't like people who aren't white. Not because they speak a different language, not because they have a different culture, but because they don't have the right color of skin. He said that. I'm not misquoting him. Like, he's admittedly a fucking racist. He just plain doesn't like people who aren't white. I don't know what really else to say about that. I guess we'll just keep going on in the video.
Like me. At last I felt like I belong. It's the same in Latvia with the exception of some gypsies. And those are outcasts. And that's natural because most people there are white. Of course there's no such thing as black and white. There's different shades of brown, lighter and darker pigmentation. Kids who still have their natural senses point with fingers when they see a human of a different race. If a Finnish kid sees somebody from Africa for the first time, then they will believe that it's a different creature because they see that they are completely different in every way.
Okay, this completely different in every way. That's stretching a little far. I wouldn't say just because somebody has a different skin color that they're different in every way. And this is a guy who just claimed he feels more comfortable in Ukraine than in Germany, not because of cultural differences, not because of language, but simply because of skin color. So, like, again, this guy's crazy. Maybe he doesn't know how to articulate himself properly and shit like that. But so far he's made a clear case, like he's clearly explained that the only reason he doesn't like Germany is because there are too many people that don't have the same skin color as him. Doesn't have anything to do with their actual language or culture. It's their skin color that he doesn't like.
Hormones change everything. The bone structure is different. It is a different being. I don't give a fuck if you're some brainwashed leftist who has been manipulated to accept everybody, which is why Germany is not Germany anymore. Your nature will never change. Imagine waking up in a room and you have no clue where you are. This alone is frightening, of course, but then imagine that there's 10 people there who you have never met. And you are Norwegian. You wake up with 10 Norwegians. Would you not feel safer? Of course. You could try to figure out a way to get out of there and understand what's going on.
No. So this example is really ridiculous. So if you wake up in a place where you don't know where the fuck you are, and you're surrounded by 10 people who you've never met, it really wouldn't comfort me to know that, oh, they're from Canada, or Ireland, or wherever. The thought going through my head is, these are people who I have no fucking idea who they are, and they probably kidnapped me and have something to do with what's going on here. Don't see how it's relevant what skin color they are or where they're actually from. I'll give him some leeway here, like, okay, if I found out that these people were from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, very high terrorist areas, then, like, okay, maybe that would be a little bit more of a worry, but yeah, no, like, not, this argument doesn't make any sense.
Because you are with people who are like you. That is natural.
Okay, I don't really know what the fuck he's trying to say here. He just said culture and language are man-made. The reason I don't prefer Ukraine over Germany isn't because of culture or language. It's literally because of skin color. So why the fuck would that matter then? If culture and language doesn't matter to you, obviously you, like, I don't know what he's placing value on here.
Now imagine waking up in a room with 10 people from Nigeria as a Norwegian. Would you feel the same? No fucking way. Anybody who believes...
If I woke up in a room surrounded by 10 people who were from Ireland, I wouldn't feel safe. If I woke up surrounded by 10 people who are from Nigeria, I wouldn't feel safe. Now, if 10 of these people were from Pakistan, Syria, Saudi Arabia, maybe you could make a case like, okay, these are high terrorist areas. Maybe this has something to do with like religious kidnapping, something like that. But no, it literally wouldn't make a difference to me.
Believes that is brain damage or is lying. Every human would always react the same way. They would feel like they're in danger, and that's normal.
He's literally making an argument, like, claiming that, see, everybody's racist. Like, no. Again, if you wake up in a room surrounded by 10 people, I don't think most people would really care what skin color the people who kidnapped them are. Unless, like, again, maybe, okay, if it's, like, possibly a terrorist who kidnapped you, you're like, oh shit, they're gonna cut my head off with a chainsaw rather than just shoot me in the head and rape my dead corpse. Like, okay, you could make a case there, but again, that has nothing to do with race. Like, again, that's totally cultural.
This is what you can call natural racism. If a German woman walks home alone at night, then she will feel 100 times safer seeing Germans everywhere compared to Turks and Africans.
Again, this is an argument from culture, not race. So, like, I don't think he understands the difference between culture and race, and that's why he said at the very beginning of the video, culture doesn't matter, language doesn't matter, it's all man-made. I don't think he's actually mentally capable of separating culture and race. Again, a lot of these migrants coming in to Germany, Sweden, places like this, they're much more likely to commit crimes, including rape, than natural, like native citizens of that area. So, yeah, there's a legitimate cultural reason to be more afraid, but in places where that isn't the case, where you do have multicultural societies, where crime isn't an issue, then no. Like, in those areas, people aren't more afraid. Like, I used to live in a neighborhood in Scarborough where there were lots of black kids, Indian kids, like, lots of different people of different Middle Eastern backgrounds, and white kids. I think the only kids I really got into fights with were white kids. So, no. I don't see how he's trying to make like this weird universal like broad claim about how race somehow is directly linked with culture, and because foreigners in Germany are more likely to commit crimes, therefore foreigners in every country or minorities in every country are more likely to commit crimes in every situation, and it's only natural that you're afraid of them. No. Again, these are totally cultural issues. If, especially in Canada, a lot of the minorities here, people from India, whatever, Middle East, Asians, Chinese, Japanese people here, a lot of them are like second or third generation at this point, so they're pretty well assimilated into the culture. As far as I know, they're not any more likely to commit crimes, especially if you look at kids who are from like Sikh or Hindu backgrounds. They're no more likely to commit crimes than white kids. And I knew a lot of white kids who were just bad. They were bad kids. They were into drug dealing and shit. So what the fuck does this have? I don't even know what point he's trying to make.
This is absolutely natural, and anybody who attacks you and calls you racist for believing that is as retarded as somebody who tells you...
Like, look, it's only natural to believe brown people are evil, and anyone who calls you racist is retarded for that. Like, oh shit.
...to only eat plants. It's absurd and goes against our senses. Why are most vegans white? It's because they want to make you infertile. It's aimed at white people and any other idiot who falls for it.
Oh my god. There's a huge community of black vegans. Most of them are Rastafarian, but if you go to Toronto, places in Detroit, and it's especially weird in these places, Detroit, Chicago, these inner cities, there's a lot of black people who are vegan, and it's just because of, again, cultural reasons. A lot of these people are from the islands, including Jamaica, and it's just a cultural thing there to eat lots of fruits, a plant-based diet. And yeah, and then like once they hear about veganism, it's just clicks with them. It's easy for them to pick up. Gary Yourofsky, a big vegan activist, he actually talked about how when he's talking about veganism and animal abuse, oftentimes it's minorities, people like blacks, Asians, people like minorities who've had experiences of like being attacked for the color of their skin for no reason, marginalized people. He says it's easier to talk to them, and they kind of get these messages a lot easier than white people do. So your claim that, oh, veganism is for white people, that's total fucking horseshit. You can find huge communities of black people who are supporting vegan diets, especially Rastafarians, and a lot of people who have, like, a lot of minorities and marginalized people are really quick to adopt a vegan lifestyle. So that's complete nonsense. Now, are the majority of vegans, like, across the entire world white? Yes, I'd say so. But again, that just comes down to, well, yeah, veganism is more of a thing in westernized countries, and in westernized countries, white people are just a majority. So, but again, it's kind of nonsense. If you go to countries like Ethiopia, if you look at traditional Ethiopian food, it's primarily plant-based. All of their dishes almost always are plant-based. They eat very little meat, so again, a ridiculous idea.
When I see Muslims shop here and almost none of them are white, then all that I see is 10 liters of raw milk, butter, meat and eggs. That's what they fucking eat. And there's kids running around everywhere. The vegan shops are filled with pale, weak white people who are pro-abortion. You can't have your own children, but let's at least fucking support killing babies, motherfuckers.
Okay, that was... I don't... Yeah, it's really hard to follow him there. Again, weak anecdotal claim. A lot of people from Muslim countries are actually eating a plant-based diet. Like Israel. Very... Like, it is a fairly heavily plant-based culture. Veganism is really taking off in Israel. What's it called? There are a few other Middle Eastern countries. I've met a few people from Iran who have told me that quite a lot of what they eat is plant-based. What else? India? India, huge vegetarian culture there. So, no, not everyone... ridiculous. Not everybody who's non-white is eating milk, butter, eggs all the time. So, again, stupid.
This is why Christianity was destroyed for white people. I'm absolutely against all religions, but at least they revolve around eating meat, especially Islam.
No, Islam doesn't revolve around eating meat. You can actually find quite a lot of Muslims on YouTube who have gone vegan. Muslim, vegan. Okay, Britain's first openly out Muslim drag queen wants to be vegan. Oh my god, okay, that's probably a bad example. But you can find some vegan Muslim YouTubers. Okay, what I eat in Ramadan as a vegan. So again, Muslim vegan, I'm not going to bother just watching the ad, but you can find plenty of Muslim vegans. A lot of Muslims now are switching to plant-based diets because because of religious reasons, actually. The Prophet Muhammad really did promote animal welfare. Halal slaughter, it's obviously barbaric and fucked up today. But at the time, it was sort of the first attempt at humane slaughter. There are some there are some parts in the Quran and Hadiths that talk about people going into heaven because they were nice to animals, even though they were like sinners. So animal welfare is promoted in the Quran. So, again, his claim that, oh, it centers around slaughtering animals, eating meat, shit like that. Well, no, it doesn't. You're full of shit. Animal welfare is heavily promoted in the Quran. You can even find it promoted in Christianity in the Bible. And, for that reason, a lot of Muslims are actually switching to a plant-based diet.
There would be almost no vegans if Christianity was still around.
What the fuck is he talking about? So, there are Seventh-day Adventists who believe, based on what is said in the Bible, God intended for people to eat a plant-based diet. So, again, that's a form of Christianity. Totally ridiculous.
Never really feel safe nowadays because you're not connected to almost anybody around you.
You're talking about being connected to people around you. You're crazy. You have admitted to wanting to kill and eat people, and you're saying, I don't feel safe because I'm not connected to anyone. Well, maybe if you didn't tell people that you wanted to kill and eat them, maybe you'd have some better, deeper connections.
Nature, you wouldn't live among people who you know nothing about, your so-called neighbors. You would know exactly who they are. You wouldn't simply say hey to them sometimes, or completely ignore them. This way of living among strangers, especially different races, is why we never feel safe.
Okay, ridiculous. So again, he's conflating several different things here. I can agree with him on some level that large cities are, like, they do cause a lot of stress for people, and this is actually one of the reasons why crime is really bad in, like, densely populated cities. When the population gets too high, and especially when there's a lot of urban sprawl, people don't know anybody else, and that can cause crime. It can make people feel uneasy. You never say hello to anybody. But when you go into small towns where there's not much urban sprawl, everybody knows everybody, everybody says hi, and crime rate is lower. So there is a point to be made there, but now he's conflating race and culture and population density and urban sprawl all into this one topic, and he's saying, see, brown people are evil. Ridiculous.
How about being in a waiting room at the doctor? You're surrounded by strangers. You have no clue who they are or what they could do. This is not something we think about consciously, but subconsciously, there's always danger.
So, like, anybody, like, Sv3rige, anybody, any of you watching, when's the last time you've gone into a doctor's office and then you were attacked by a brown person out of nowhere for no reason? Can anybody tell me a situation where that happened? It's never happened to me.
This would never in a million fucking years happen in nature, because...
Oh, really? Yeah. There definitely aren't doctor's offices in nature, Sv3rige. Yeah, you've got a point there.
You would always be alert and know exactly who you're surrounded by, which would most of the time be your own family. This is...
So, I don't even know what he means by nature. Like... Yeah, I don't even know what the hell he means by nature. People have an extraordinarily good ability to cooperate with one another. That's why modern humans are so successful. That's why we have the technology that we have, because we're capable of cooperating with people that we've never fucking met before. Do you honestly think if we lived a natural lifestyle where nobody ever communicated with anyone outside of their own race, their own little village, do you think technology would be the way it is? Do you think cameras, YouTube, the internet would fucking exist if there wasn't this mass cooperation among people from vastly different cultures, different languages, different parts of the world? Weird how you take all these things for granted. Like, you know, like, do you think, honestly, do you think the people supporting you on fucking Patreon and giving you PayPal donations, do you think they're all white, you stupid motherfucker? Like, look, I think there might actually be a video on his channel where he's talking to, yeah, there definitely are. So let's go through his channel. Ex-vegan. So yeah, ex-vegan, does that guy look white to you? He doesn't look white to me. Let's go a bit more. Does that guy look white to you? He looks like he probably has some sort of Middle Eastern background. Okay, that woman, she sure as fuck doesn't look white. Why the fuck are you talking to her, Sv3rige? I thought brown people were evil and you should avoid them because they're scary and dangerous. So yeah, totally ridiculous. Funny how you talk about how you should avoid fucking all people of color. You should stick within your own little tiny knit social group. It's not natural. But you sure as fuck will take these people's money, right? Fucking asshole. So, I am planning on making a big video on Sv3rige, and I'm definitely going to include this fucking video about him. he made me feel uncomfortable before. Like, this guy should be institutionalized. He's crazy. Like, he literally is legit crazy. I've been wrongfully placed in a mental hospital, and I've been around, like, really crazy people who are schizophrenic, and they were hearing voices, they were seeing shit. It's bizarre. He should be among those people. He's that fucking crazy. So, and on top of that, he's just a blatant admitted racist. So, not only is this guy just fucking crazy, but he just makes my skin crawl because he's a fucking self-entitled, dishonest, hypocritical piece of shit. So he's just a terrible human being from top to bottom, and I don't think he can use his mental illness as an excuse for this. He's just a fucking shitty person, and he's crazy. So, let's move on to Frank Tufano. So, Frank made a video titled Butter is a Superfood, so let's just quickly go through this.
If you told someone butter was good for you, they might look at you like you have two heads, and then they'll go and spread, I can't believe it's not butter, or...
Okay, so Frank likes to create straw mans constantly. So he's saying, okay, all these people are saying, oh, butter is bad for you. Gee, I wonder why the fuck that is. Maybe every single study imaginable has proven that foods high in saturated fat kill you. And then he's saying, oh, and then these exact same people say, well, I can't believe it's butter, eat margarine. No, everybody knows that shit is fucking terrible for you. I think really the reason margarine has become so popular isn't because it's being marketed as some kind of health food, it's because it's cheaper. Go to the store, look at margarine. It's just cheaper to buy. I've actually talked to some fans of mine who are from Bulgaria, and they were telling me, in Bulgaria, there's a lot of vegan, like, replacement butters and cheeses that are becoming popular because they're fucking cheap. So, nonsense. Nobody is claiming that butter, butter alternatives like margarines are a health food. You're just being stupid and creating straw mans.
Or Earth Balance on their toast.
Nobody's claiming Earth Balance is a health food. It's primarily made out of palm oil. It's just as bad as butter for raising your LDL bad cholesterol. So, no, nobody's claiming that's a health food. Stop fucking straw manning everybody, you dishonest asshole.
Yet humans have been consuming animal fats for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years.
Okay, humans have been consuming animal fats for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. I would say that is true. I would agree with Frank there. Now, were they consuming animal fat? Yes. Were they consuming butter? No. What's the earliest fucking, Frank, show me evidence. What's the earliest example you could find of human beings eating butter? I'd say it's at the very most 10,000 years ago. At the very, very most. Right around the time where we started, using agriculture. We actually started keeping animals for livestock. Probably soon after that, we discovered how to make butter. So for roughly a few thousand years, we've been eating butter, and for hundreds of thousands to millions of years, we've mostly been eating things like insects, small wild-caught game, and occasionally, maybe when we got lucky, we'd be able to, hunt and kill a deer. All of these animals are, they're wild, they're relatively lean compared to, the modern animals that we keep locked up in cages. And, way lower in fat. Way, way lower in fat, and now you're trying to claim, oh, well, because they have a tiny little bit of fat on their body, that means eating pure fucking concentrated processed butter is now good for you. Retarded fucking argument. So if you're going to fucking claim, oh, people have been eating people have been eating animal fats for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, well, that's not butter, is it, Frank?
It is really unfortunate that this idea that fat is bad for us is so ingrained in our...
No, Not the idea that fat is bad for us. Saturated fat in particular. So foods like butter, lard, tallow, coconut oil, palm kernel oil, all of those foods that are high in saturated fat are bad for you. That is what the science says. Stop trying to conflate things. Stop trying to make just... Like, what he tries to do is just muddy the waters. So he's trying to conflate animal fat with butter as if they're the same fucking thing. No, they're not. Now he's trying to say, oh, everyone's saying fat is bad, just fat in general, when no, it's saturated fat in particular. And now the consensus is that poly and monounsaturated fats are good for us because in the most recent randomized trials, it's been proven. Cutting out saturated fat and replacing it with poly and monounsaturated fat has been proven to reduce risk of dying. So, what argument do you have? Oh, well, humans should be eating animal... Oh, right, yeah, that argument falls apart pretty fucking quickly, doesn't it, Frank?
Our culture, that people will shy away from foods that are the most important for our health. In the case of butter...
butter is the most important food for our health? Okay, so how long have humans been eating that? So, like, I think the earliest estimate you could even fucking possibly imagine would be 10,000 years ago. That's right around the time when we started raising our own animals. So, you're saying the other hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years of human history, nobody ate any butter, but in only the last few thousand years, people started eating butter, and it's not like every single culture butter was a staple food. And you're saying it's one of the most important foods for our health, even though it's a very recent human invention. Oh, okay, Frank.
Most people are actually unaware of the vitamin content of butter, as well as the...
Oh yeah, most people aren't aware. So let's do this. Let's see, grass-fed butter, because that matters to some people. So Kiwi pure unsalted grass-fed butter. So that sounds like the shit. So let's go with 1 ounce. I think that's about a tablespoon worth of butter. I think that's like something Frank would consider 1 serving. So let's see what we got here. Basically 1 tablespoon of butter, roughly 200 calories. So what do you get with that 200 calories? Well, you get 14.2 grams of saturated fat, nice artery clogging saturated fat. We've got 0.6 grams of trans fats, and a lot of people aren't aware that trans fat does exist in animal foods. Butter and organ meats are particularly bad for trans fats. Any dairy products are particularly bad for trans fats and organs. And 56.7 milligrams of cholesterol. So none of these nutrients are heart healthy. Barely any protein. It's virtually 0.3 grams of protein, so nothing. And the only vitamin that pops up here is vitamin A. And it's not even anywhere close to your daily recommended intake. So less than 50% of your daily recommended intake. And with that, you get a nice 14.2 grams of artery clogging saturated fat, 0.6 grams of artery clogging trans fat, and 56.7 milligrams of artery clogging cholesterol. So, wow, this insanely nutritionally dense food, right, Frank, has virtually no nutritional content, shit tons of fucking artery clogging calories, and not much vitamin C. So, let's see, roughly 200 calories. Let's look up a sweet potato. Sweet potato baked. Let's go with a medium sweet potato. So 1 medium sweet potato, you've got 100 calories, so that's half the calories than the butter here. And let's see, you got fiber. Does the butter have... Oh no, the butter doesn't have fiber. So this will help you actually shit. Basically 0 grams of saturated fat, 0.1 grams, nothing. It actually has protein. So 2.3 grams of protein versus virtually 0. And let's see. We have 730% the recommended daily intake for vitamin A. Oh, that's weird. Look at that. Huh. So we've got 730% the daily recommended intake of vitamin A. We also have B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, no B12, of course. We've got some folate, vitamin C, and we do have a little bit of vitamin E and vitamin K. And we've got some minerals here, tiny bit of zinc, but we do have a bit of manganese, a bit of magnesium, and a little bit of iron, copper, some calcium. So there's actual nutrition in a sweet potato, but butter is basically pure fat, and it has it's empty calories. It's empty artery clogging calories, but butter is a superfood. Exactly what makes it super, Frank? Nothing. You are just a delusional, crazy fucking moron. I don't even have really anything else to say to that. I'm not going to bother watching the rest of this video. He's just fucking stupid. This was also interesting too. Now, after watching Frank's content, and especially after like the debate I had with him and the private conversation I had subsequently, he is such a dishonest, manipulative hypocrite, it is insane. So let's just watch this first little bit of this video.
Despite always talking about being vegan and not having animal foods in their diet, vegans do sure go out of their way to replicate animal foods as closely as possible with plant foods.
Weird. People who have grown up eating particular foods don't want to give up those foods. Like, they still want to, you know, be able to experience those tastes that they've grown up to and became accustomed to. But now they have a new ethical understanding, and these crazy fucking people want a way to replicate the taste and texture of these foods without supporting cruelty. Just, why? So, I know exactly where he's going with this, of course. Let's just let him ramble a little bit.
I came across this completely ridiculous video on how to make a fried egg, and I thought it was too good to not share with you guys. For these vegans to think that this is healthier, better for the environment, morally better, is just completely...
By the way, Frank admitted during our debate that a vegan diet is morally better, and if he could actually follow a vegan diet and be healthier, he'd do it. So he did agree that it is morally better, so Frank is freaking lying right here. And really, Frank, like, I know chia seeds are used in egg substitutes, so, like, what, chia seed, chia seed plant, so... See, you got a field of chia seeds right here. This is the plant. I think I've actually seen these growing wild. That's interesting. Didn't know they looked like that. But look, you got a chia seed plantation here, and you got a little kid running through a field of chia seeds. It looks pretty. Now, let's see. Battery hens. Yeah. This looks great, right? Right, Frank? Yeah, this is definitely better than, you know, making eggs out of different plant foods like chia seeds. But, like, vegans are just fucking crazy, right? Ridiculous. So, Frank's a liar. He admitted during the debate we had that, you know, veganism is ethically superior. And he's also done ridiculous videos claiming that, oh, vegan diets aren't as environmentally friendly, which, yeah, they're more environmentally friendly than your diet. So he's just a liar. Now, I'm not going to bother going through this whole video, but basically the point he's trying to make here is, look at these crazy vegans. They're trying to whip up these weird concoctions to mimic the taste and texture and flavor of these animal foods when they could just eat these animal foods. They're so stupid. Well, let's look at Frank's channel. If you search recipe in his channel here, this is what you get. So he's got like a classic steak tartare recipe. Now, yeah, there's some really appetizing things in here, like raw lamb brain. Yeah, I'm sure a vegan egg recipe, that's a lot less appetizing than raw lamb brains, right? Like you'd have to be crazy to eat this, but I mean this, yeah, good. So if you keep scrolling down here, weird. You get to something like this. raw dairy ice cream. Well, Frank, weren't you just criticizing vegans for trying to imitate products, and then here you are, imitating products. Now, instead of making, just going to the store, getting real ice cream, oh, let's make raw dairy ice cream with pastured eggs and raw honey? Oh, yeah, okay, someone's stupid. Keto, zero-carb, paleo-carnivore carbonara. So he made zero-carb pasta. So that sounds like you're trying to imitate these plant foods when you could just eat the plant foods, Frank. Weird. Oh, okay, so you're a complete fucking hypocrite. Oh, here, zero-carb paleo chicken noodles. Okay, so why aren't you just eating normal noodles, Frank? It's almost as if you've grown up with these foods, you don't want to give them up, but because of certain ethical and health concerns that you have, you don't want to eat those foods, so you come up with substitutes that are the next best thing. Sort of like how you're criticizing vegans for doing this exact same thing. So, what can I say? Frank Tufano, crazy, idiotic hypocrite, and I am going to make 2 big videos on Frank Tufano and Sv3rige very soon, so you can stay tuned for that. I will be able to upload to my main channel in the next couple days, so you can look forward to that. Now, I would prefer to actually be able to live stream these videos, so again, if any of you have any recommendations for streaming websites where I can make private streams where I can give you a link and only only people with the link would be able to see it, please notify me, because I can't stream on YouTube right now, and other streaming sites, as far as I know, they don't have that feature. So if you can message me or just leave a comment on this video, I'd appreciate it. And hope you guys enjoyed this little video. It was it feels weird doing it because I'm kind of trying to treat it like my live streams, but there's no one to talk to, so. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I will be able to come up with some sort of solution to the streaming issue soon. And even though you're not here, thanks again for all of you supporting me either through Patreon or on the website. And if any of you are watching this because you got the link through Patreon, you should know that I have launched my own website. Was it the official? No, wait. Official Vegan Gains? Or no, Vegan Gains Official, I think. Wait, let me... No, it's Vegan... Yeah, Vegan Gains Official. Okay, so if you go to... let me just... I'll scroll up here so you guys can see the URL. So if you go to vegangainsofficial.com, you can go to donation tiers, and then you get different tiers for donating. So you can get like weekly live streams, Discord, things like that. Basically same reward tiers as in Patreon. But the difference is I don't have to worry about getting kicked off of Patreon. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Sargon of Akkad getting kicked off of Patreon for political reasons. That could happen to me very easily. Somebody from Patreon might say, Vegan Gains is an asshole. He's vegan. I don't like that. You're gone from Patreon. Goodbye, money. So I started this website, so if you are still supporting me on Patreon, please stop your next pledge and just go over to the website, vegangainsofficial.com. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So just, again, big thanks to all of you supporting me on Patreon. Helps me out massively, especially in times like these where I get temporarily banned from YouTube, but I will be able to upload again in the next few days. And hope you guys have enjoyed your holidays so far, and hope you all have a happy new year.